President, I know you've urged people to move on, but I'm curious, why do you think your supporters in particular have been so interested in the Epstein story and so upset about how it's been handled?
I don't understand it. Why they would be so interested. He's dead for a long time. He was never a big factor in terms of life. I don't understand what the interest or what the fascination is. I really don't. And the credible information's been given. Don't forget, we went through years of the Mueller witch hunt and all of the different things, the Steele dossier, which was all fake. All that information was fake. But I don't understand why the Jeffrey Epstein case would be of interest to anybody. It's pretty boring stuff. It's sordid, but it's boring. And I don't understand why it keeps going. I think, well, really only pretty bad people, including fake news, want to keep something like that going. But credible information.
I have to rewind it just a little bit because I want you to see the guy to the right as Trump says that last part.
Really only pretty bad people, including fake news, want to keep something like that going. But credible information, let them give it. Anything that's credible, I would say, let them have it.
What's going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning in. If you could, when you come in, could you like the video? We're going a little bit early today because we have an appointment here at the house. But I didn't want to not talk about this because there is some interesting stuff happening in the world of the Epstein cover-up. Gentile News Network posts this disclosed.tv clip, and it says the guy standing next to Trump is Howard Lutnick, who was Jeffrey Epstein's neighbor and close associate. Probably nothing, right? Let's look it up. All right, so we got to look it up. We're not just gonna believe everything we hear, right, guys? Okay, that's what we do, right? Here we go. Looking it up. Okay, Howard Lutnick. Your portrait, Secretary of Commerce, incumbent. Okay. All right, let's see. So this guy looks like he's around pretty often. Yeah. Well, might be nothing though. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. There are no connections to possible Zionist interests around President Donald Trump. We're crazy. We're crazy, guys. We're crazy. But just in case we aren't, now don't get me wrong. So Trump has laid the gauntlet down, okay? He's posted on Truth Social. This is his most recent post, right? So the radical left Democrats have hit pay dirt again, basically calling this fake news, scams and hoaxes, right? He's saying that we're not sticking together. This is the play, right? This is what he's saying. Let these weaklings continue forward and do the Democrats' work. He's talking about us, right? Don't even think about talking of our incredible and unprecedented success because I don't want their support anymore. He doesn't want the support of those of us who, right? I mean, just on this last episode, I've been talking about Trump's successes, but he doesn't want our support anymore. We just want the files, President. We just want the files, right? That's all. We just want the files. Thank you to everybody that's tuning in. Let's think about it. All right. So I voted for Trump just so all you know, right? I'm on board with America first. Thank you to Jordan Valier for tuning in. Lou and Bella, thank you. Paca Mama Radio, thank you for tuning in. Lauren for the Forlorn, thank you for tuning in. Merck, thank you for tuning in. Watermelon Cow, all right. Sounds interesting. Thank you for tuning in. Merck, Blue Vortex, David, thank you to everybody that's tuning in. If you could like the video, engage with it, right, as you come in. Thank you to everybody that is tuning in. I appreciate you all for spending some of your, what is midday for me, but your whatever, wherever you are, spending some of that time with me on this channel discussing this topic. All right, so let me get back to the, all right. So this is what we're asking, right? We see, does Trump have a Jewish handler? Everybody's asking the same question. Not everybody, but a lot of people are asking the same question all over X and Truth Social. Thank you, Jay. Thank you. Appreciate you for tuning in. Thank you, Dimitri Arevalo, right? Handlers, they all have one, right? This is, and Jesus, yes, amen. He loves me because he saved me, right? There you go. They all have one, right? Making sure that Trump follows the script. The gaslighting is insane. So now we're no longer Trump supporters. All right, that's fine. I don't care. This whole thing for me was to try to get America back before it went too far. If Trump wants to draw lines and saying that we keep asking about Epstein files, we're no longer supporting him. Okay, gauntlet laid down. I guess we're just not your supporters anymore. It is what it is. I'll still praise you for doing the things that you do well, but I'm pretty sure a lot of people are going to continue to talk about this until we get some answers. Now, we know that some of these chief Trumpsters, they got the call, right? They got the call.
I'm done talking about Epstein for the time being.
Charlie's,
I'm going to trust my friends in the administration. I'm going to trust
the government
to do what needs to be done, solve it, balls in their hands. I've said plenty this last weekend. So if you guys want to see my commentary on it, that's fine. Honestly, I'm done talking about Epstein for the time being.
This is where I don't trust the government. Government is too large for me to just blanket trust, give them my blanket trust. It's filled with too many people who are compromised. That's the point. The whole point is that we know that there are compromised people in the government and you all won't out them. Because Trump gave him a call. We understand he talked about it, that Trump called him, and now he's changed his tune. He's not going to talk about Epstein anymore. Okay, Charlie, that's fine. Right? You're going to trust the government. Great. This is as anyone who's done a basic study of history should laugh at that statement. Trust your government. Never once have I trusted my government. I have to see the government do something in order to believe it. If I can't see it, I'm not when it comes to government, I'm not going to believe it. The shadow government, all of my money being taken and given, Doge finding all of this waste and fraud. Yeah, we've been trusting the government. I'm not going to trust it just because Trump is president. Right? Again, if that means I'm no longer in the MAGA movement, I'm fine. I'm absolutely fine with that. If that's the line of demarcation, the Epstein files, which says, oh, okay, you're no longer MAGA if you keep asking for the Epstein files and wanting people to be brought to justice, right? Then I guess I don't really care. I don't need MAGA to affirm me. Yeah, you're right, guys. We will. We will. If that's the line of demarcation, exactly. Christina says it right there. Trust no one, right? Especially not government. Right? Okay? Exactly. Look, I'm going to say it right there. Come on. Asper says it. This is what we're recognizing. All of the Zionists, look at this. Zionist number 2. Here we go. Zionist number 2. Charlie Kirk, Zionist. Dinesh D'Souza, Zionist.
I'm going to talk about the Epstein files, and I'm going to make the case that even though there are unanswered questions about Epstein, it is in fact time to move on. Part of being on a political team is maintaining a certain amount of maturity, recognizing you can't win them all, recognizing there are some things that are important to you that are less important to the guy that you've put in charge, who is trying to focus on things right in front of him. And so having a sense of perspective, having a sense of balance, having a sense of maturity, I think is more important even than getting to the bottom of what really happened with Jeffrey Epstein.
I know, brother. But look, this was an emergency, right? I got the shirt on, but I was like, nah, we going relax, no bow tie today, brother. We going straight. This is the grimy episode. But apparently, Dinesh says we're immature. There's a certain level of maturity that's required in order to believe what Trump is saying and to not question him at all. See, that's what it is, right? We're stupid and immature for questioning things. Oh, okay. So that's what it is now, right? So Charlie's done. He's going to trust the government. Dinesh says we're immature if we don't recognize that this is a big deal, that the thread that we're trying to unravel here leads to what we believe is the true nature of the true true nature of who runs our government. And now we're just supposed to say it's done. So the Zionists, like Dinesh D'Souza and Charlie Kirk, right? Yeah. Oh, you can't look. Come on, Marina. How did you know? How did you know, Marina? How did you know? How did you know? Huh? Marina's a mind reader. Huh? Look at that. Look at that.
Are, by the way, but they are child pornography. The reason the FBI is not releasing them is because those tapes do not include underage people with third parties on Epstein Island. That is not what the tapes are. Okay, I also have sources in the federal government who are covering this stuff and have seen the documents. Okay, those tapes are just child porn. That's all. That's what they are. That's why the FBI is not releasing them. Okay, as far as the Epstein list, what I have been told by my sources is that there is no Epstein list, that basically there's a black book of Jeffrey Epstein contacts. And the vast majority of those contacts are already out there publicly. That's why you know names like Prince Andrew or Alan Dershowitz or some of the names that have been mentioned here. Those contacts, there is no evidence, according to the DOJ and the FBI, and again, that's public, there's no evidence that any of those third parties were having girls trafficked to them. Here is Tucker then asserting that it was actually Mossad. Again, without evidence, not a shock. Of course, this is where Tucker was going. This has become the hot speculation on the internet, is without evidence. You say that Mossad was running Jeffrey Epstein. Right. When I say without evidence, I mean without evidence. Naftali Bennett, the former Israeli prime minister, said, quote, "As a former Israeli prime minister, with the Mossad having reported directly to me, I say to you with..."
Yeah, we talked about this yesterday. But then Tucker asks the former prime minister to come on to his show for him to interview him. Right? It's again. So what are we supposed to believe? We've got Ben Shapiro, who is Israel First. We've got Dinesh D'Souza, Zionist, essentially Israel First. Charlie Kirk, Zionist, Israel First. Oh, we've got a handler for Trump. Oh. So no, we're supposed to just again, pay no attention to the man behind the curtain, right?
You can't make this up.
Right. Apparently. We're just supposed to believe it, right? Now, thankfully, there are some people who are pushing back. Okay? Now, I follow, I know we have more people. Well, let's look at old Nancy Mace, right? Let's look at this. Look at this tweet with old Nancy. All right? She says this. She just said, look, all child rapists should get the death penalty. That's what she says, right? And she says, Nancy Mace, the reader's added context. Nancy Mace wrote this minutes after voting against the release of the Epstein files. What's going on, DP? Thank you for the super chat. It is coming through now. I will put it on the screen, right? Exactly. He's right. That's it. He got the call. Charlie even talks about it. I don't have the clip, but Charlie talks about the fact that he talked to President Trump. Somebody in the Trump admin gave Charlie, Dinesh, and Ben a visit, put their hand on their shoulder and said, who's Jeffrey Epstein? They were like, no. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you. But this is what we're supposed to really believe this, right? And these and go back to my previous videos, right? People who are claiming that we have Trump derangement syndrome. No, sir. That's not it. No. We believe we follow truth. So first of all, for those of us who are Christians, we follow a man who claimed to be the truth and who also claimed to be God. Jesus says, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. Trump is not Jesus. I am not going to be worshiping a man who didn't die on the cross and then rise 3 days later. Okay, so that's point number one. So if that means I ain't in the MAGA movement, fine. Because the MAGA movement is going to be swept away, right? It's going to be swept away. What, 1,000 years? No one's even going to remember the MAGA movement in 1,000 years. Now, we don't have it over here. There's no TDS, but we will need to call out lies when we see them. This is an obvious cover up. Obvious. So what do? They're using the left's playbook now. We're immature. That's what Dinesh says. It takes a certain level of maturity to just let this go. Okay. Trump has laid it down, said these are my former supporters. He doesn't want our support anymore. Okay. You might regret that during the midterms, but keep. Thank you. I appreciate you. Chuck, what's going on, brother? And thank you for that gift. Those 2 gifts. Right? Doesn't show up. Yeah. Right? Exactly. Donald Thomas says it as a Republican. Where is the list? The base wants the list. People who voted for him want the list. They're not just... We're people... Let's see. He's on the way. Okay. All right. The guy's coming for the... Because it might be a short. That was what? How many minutes ago? 12 minutes ago. The guy's on his way for the on his way for the appointment, right? Coming to the house. But we're gonna get through these. Let's get through this. Now there are people who are pushing back, but we're gonna talk about the people who are all in on this cover up, and you can tell they got the call, right? They got the call. Okay. This is what he says. Well, I'm not going to play that one. That one's too long because the guy's coming. All right, let's see. Let's look at, we did Ben. Let's listen to Matt Walsh and Candace Owens, right? Yeah. Okay. So I'll read this one and I'll explain it one more time. All right. I don't know why. Maybe it's the same person that keeps coming up, right? The liberal arts plus the great books, in short. There you go. That's what classical education is. All right. The liberal arts and the great books. The 7 liberal arts. Septem liberales. All right? Here we go. Septem artes liberales. That's what.
Now, of course,
right?
We have no idea what information, if any, this sociopath, this evil woman will ultimately reveal. But the fact remains that, especially after the humiliating display by Bondi and the DOJ we've all just witnessed, it's probably worth listening to Maxwell's testimony. If a client list exists at this point, she's the most likely person to tell us. Now, yes, it's an indictment of Pam Bondi and the DOJ that we see any reason to listen to a ghoul like this, but that's where we are. Millions of Americans are not satisfied with what we've been told. And we shouldn't be, because it's been contradictory and insulting to our intelligence every step of the way. So now we're looking elsewhere. This is what happens when people are deceived and strung along for years, only to be told that they're not entitled to any kind of transparency whatsoever. People are not just going to move on with their lives, no matter how badly you want them to. And there's a reason for that. And I want to make this very clear to those on the right, including the president himself, who are telling us to just drop the subject and move on. We can't drop it. We can't move on. Because what we want is justice. We have a deep desire for justice. And we can see how the corrupt and the powerful are never held accountable. We can look at our cities and see violent criminals running rampant in the streets, also not held accountable. We want these evildoers to be punished. We want the innocent to be defended. We want justice. It's one of the most basic and most honorable of all human desires. We want to see that justice is done. We want to know who else was in those awful videos that Pam Bondi told us about, and we want those people to be dragged in front of us, weeping and begging for mercy. We want them exposed and humiliated and shamed and punished in the harshest and most painful way, because that's justice. And we're not going to drop the subject until we get it. So unseal everything, including the search warrants and the financial disclosures. Tell us what exactly was in those truckloads of documents that you recovered in New York. Show us the phase 2 Epstein files that you told us about just a few months ago. In other words, don't give us any more excuses from bureaucrats on Fox News. Don't give us any more stonewalling and doublespeak. We've seen more than enough of that in this case and so many others. Instead, for a change, give us something we're not used to seeing from the federal government and the DOJ. Give us justice.
Yep. And Matt Walsh is exactly right. If you want to explore the ideas, the 6 great ideas of humankind, based on Mortimer Adler's book, The 6 Great Ideas, one of them is justice. Okay. It's a really great book. I commend it to you. The ideas that we hold great are truth, goodness, and beauty, ideas by which we judge, and liberty, equality, and justice, ideas we act upon. Read this book if you haven't. Very great book by a very great scholar. Matt Walsh is right. That's what we're crying out for. That's what our desires are. This desire to see that list, it comes from that innate need for justice. We have a desire for it. We want to see these people held accountable for what they've done. And it's not. This is, and it should be nonpartisan. But apparently, we're crazy as MAGA supporters, I guess, because we're no longer that, right? We're no longer MAGA supporters, apparently, right? Because Trump said so. We're not his supporters anymore. That's what he said on Truth Social. So it is what it is. I know I'm crushed. Oh, no. My identity is not in Donald Trump. It's not found in him. Right? That's the problem. The people who worship him and idolize him think that we're somehow his parishioners, right? We're in the Church of Trump. No, we're going to keep calling this out because this is an obvious cover up, and we hate what we're seeing because we have an innate desire for justice, and we're not being given justice. And you promised this in your campaign. You promised. Don't break your promise. You break it. This will divide you. You think that this won't have some kind of an effect? Okay, push away your base and watch the Democrats win the midterms. Exactly. We're starting to see where your allegiance lies. It ain't MAGA. It's MEGA. That's what we're starting to recognize, old Donnie. Right? And listening to Candace, and I think we'll be done with Candace. We'll let Candace give us the last little bit of this. See if I can finish this before.
This Donald Trump with the Trump that we're seeing right now. The Trump that is gaslighting. I'm going to pull
this back. Yes. Back to the beginning. Here we go.
I can't reconcile this Donald Trump with the Trump that we're seeing right now. The Trump that is gaslighting the public right now. The Trump that I voted for across multiple elections. The Epstein scandal is definitely terminal cancer to Trump's MAGA movement. There's no question about that. I actually said to my husband this weekend, we were talking about it, that in order for Trump to get out of this is how bad it is, in order for him to actually make the MAGA base forget this, like potentially move on from Jeffrey Epstein, he would essentially have to come right out and repeal income tax in the United States. And then we would be extremely happy. Everyone would be very happy. And then we'd go, actually, thanks, Trump, but we still remember the Epstein scandal. We want the list.
Exactly.
That's how bad it is. There's just no making anybody forget about this Epstein scandal. I can't reconcile this Donald Trump with the Trump that we're seeing right now, the Trump that is gaslighting the public right now.
So she says it. It's terminal cancer. It could be the thing that takes this movement down. You may not. The midterms and what you're trying to do with your presidency might actually be derailed because of this, because we're not letting it go. If I have to do an episode 6 days a week where I bring this up and have a counter down, a countdown, how many days we haven't gotten the Epstein files, I'll put it right over there. Hey, we'll do it. Because this is what we see. Now look at this. Now look at this. Well, because they know they're in control. Look what's going on. And y'all let me know what's going on over here. This is a Syria's Ministry of Defense building in Damascus. And look who it says is striking them. So now we just attacking civilian. Like, they just get to do what they want now. This do what they want, right? Our greatest ally, Elijah Schaefer, says it. Now I don't agree with everything Elijah says, but this one is he's right here. I don't agree with I don't agree with everything that anybody says. I don't know. Our greatest ally defying Trump openly. Is this what's happening? Trump has done so much damage to his base. Yes, he has. Even Israel can see that they don't have to listen to him anymore. Sad direction for our nation. We voted to get the list. But look at this. Right? I know, guys. I know. Us asking for truth, we are the cancer to this country. Yes. Truth seekers. I know. We want, not puppets who do whatever Donald Trump says, right? Yeah, anybody, what are we, okay. Well, now, this is what you get. This is what you get. Because they ain't scared. What should they be scared of? If you allow BB, who is a war criminal, to recognize that he's in control, even if Donald Trump is, I do what I want. Whatever. I do what I want. And he's walking around Cartmaning. Is it? Whatever. I do what I want. I don't know. I mean, we talked about this multiple times. There's really what's going on? Yes, I know what's going on, Brother Anthony Allen. Because I won't be going on for very long today. Because we've got a technician coming. He's probably on his way. Yeah. So, but y'all, this is Leonardo Cook might be right. We might be in America's decline. Historically, I remember Bill Whittle talking about that one time in one of his shows years ago, maybe 12, 13 years ago. How we are in the bottom of the curve for our empire's existence. But we get this is what we're dealing with, y'all. So those are the only clips I wanted to talk about. This was going to be a short show. I appreciate everybody for hanging out with me just for this short period. Let's look at this last one, right? If you want to know how the tide has shifted, Now we've got the Sunny Hostins of the world making, goodness. 2024.
People were dying for this information. There was some sort of list that everybody thought was going to come out, and who's on the list. What's important for us to note is we shouldn't be repeating names that are on the list, because just because your name has not on the list, but in the documents, just because your name is on the documents doesn't mean that you have done anything criminally irresponsible or illegal or civilly irresponsible.
Or that you were a client.
Or that you were a client. These documents, as I read them, only reflect Epstein's sexual assaults of women and his sexual behavior. So I think that...
And Ghislaine also?
And Ghislaine. And so being named in this suit does not equate to being accused of wrongdoing. And I think that is extremely important, because conspiracy theorists seem to not understand or enjoy facts.
Yes.
These are the facts.
There is a list. Trump's name is on the logs, the passenger logs of Epstein's aircraft at least 7 times. That's already been made public. I mean, of course, Trump is denying any and all allegations, but all of that information is out there. Why not just put it to rest and say, release the list?
So we had a very interesting Nathan Abner. Are you a Trump supporter, Nathan? I'm asking the question. I know it'll be 30 seconds before he answers it. Oh, okay. Don't worry about it then. I won't answer that question. All right. But we want to see the list. We want to see the list. There's nothing wrong with us wanting the list, right? So we can't let it go. We have to keep this in the public eye. We have to keep this in the public consciousness. We have to make sure that this is constantly a thorn in Trump's side. That's it. We have to. Because we know that if we keep this up, if Candace Owens and Matt Walsh's and all the other people, Alex Jones's or whoever else has been the larger platforms, if we keep this up, then they're going to have to deal with it. Just like no matter, the government is hoping and praying that we let this go. That's what they do. They gaslight you. They call you names. They call you conspiracy theorist. And 60 to 70 years later, you're proven correct. But by that time, people have forgotten it. And it's become a part of the public consciousness that those were just conspiracy theories. So most people don't even care anymore. So how are we supposed to reconcile the idea that this is happening again? They blow Kennedy's head off in broad daylight and then gaslight the public into thinking that it was a one-man job. They try to blow Trump's head off about a year ago and then try to pretend that it was nothing. Now, Trump is engaging in that same type of behavior. And so, yes, his base who voted for him and helped to get him elected, we are insisting upon a campaign promise to be delivered. Keep doing great things with the economy. I follow all of that. It's great. Right? Great. We're not going to complain about the good things that you're doing. Keep it up with the immigration, the deportations and the like. There's Truth Social posted that there's been billions of dollars of revenue generated from the tariffs. that illegal immigrants are now self-deporting. Good things. Lots of good things. The economy's doing better. Lots of good things are happening. But this is a big deal. And so we're not going to let it go. We can't let it go. Can't stop, won't stop. Nope. Right? Right? Sorry, people who want, the citizenship, birthright citizenship was for my great grandfather. So unfortunately, y'all stuck with me. My great grandfather was a slave who was, it's unfortunate, guys. I know some of y'all might want me to be deported, but unfortunately, you're stuck with me. Right? I've been here for a while. Family's been here for a while. Great grandfather was a slave born in the 1860s. So yeah, sorry guys. Hey boy, and I ain't going anywhere. Nope. So anyway, that's it. We're going to, it's not all been good. That's one of the reasons why this show is talking about this. I just did an entire, exactly. Well, some people are talking, GP, some people say they're going to deport you then, right? I'm like, because I want illegal immigrants deported. Now they're saying, oh, well, they're going to deport you. Like in the comments. I don't know why. I've been here my entire life. My family's been here for generations. Okay, if you say so. Right? Because, they think that, this is the whole
They're going to put you all back in chains.
That's what they do with black people. They try to scare us into thinking that Republicans are the boogeyman and they're going to put us back in chains, right? Oh, they're going to put y'all back in chains. And then you got the Angela Rye's and the Tiffany Crosses and what's his name? I can see Ricky Smiley saying that, right, my Bitcoin portfolio is up. Right? So, but they're saying that we're not going to have midterms because they're going to put black people in concentration camps. Right? I mean, it's crazy. I don't know. It's insane. Right? Right? Yeah, Uncle Ruck is no relation. Right? They in here. Yeah. So they come in and try to make these silly points that anybody with sense has long since stopped saying that or stopped believing. Right? Again, Trump is doing some tremendous things, and we're going to keep highlighting them. But the Epstein cover-up is a big deal, and it needs to be highlighted. This is a big deal because it, again, is highlighting the fact that we may be, unfortunately, dealing with a MEGA first presidency, right? An Israel first president. We have Zionists who are now defending Trump's Epstein cover-up. The Zionists like Charlie Kirk and Dinesh D'Souza. This is what we're seeing. Oh, they got the call. They're Zionists. They got the call. Oh, okay. But those who are not Zionists, like Matt Walsh, Candace Owens, and the like, are not bowing the knee. Right? So, you're not going to get me. I ain't a fan of Biden at all, right? Because he already told me.
And you ain't black.
I ain't black because I didn't vote for him. I ain't black. So I'm fine with that. Absolutely fine with that. If it means I got to bow the knee to the Democrats, I am not going to be black. Sorry. Y'all can keep it, right? Because keep the Hillarys of the world,
I don't
right?
feel no ways tired.
Right? And then what's she put in her purse?
Hot sauce.
Hot sauce. That's how they pander to y'all, right? And y'all love it. Y'all eat it up. Y'all eat it up, right? Y'all eat it up. They love it. They're like, yep, yeah. Keep giving me some more of that. Come on, massa. They're like, keep feeding me that. Keep feeding me that lie. Keep feeding me that. We're going to give you 90 plus. We got that 90, boss. We got that 90. We got that 90%, boss. We're going to give it to you, boss. Yeah, exactly. That's what y'all do with the Democrats. Okay, go ahead. Keep going. I'm not doing that, right? Because they already told you.
So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit black people. No.
Yeah, right. Right. I know. Y'all taste that Democrat boot. Y'all love it. Right? Y'all cooning for them Democrats. I understand. I know that's how you shuck and jive. They give that money, them reparations, and them, them social society programs, right? Yeah. Come on. Right? The actual coons calling us a coon. Are we serious? Right? Y'all cooning hard for the Democrats. Can't think outside of that Democrat box, right? Can't look at possibly being a constitutionalist or a libertarian or anything, right? Eric July does a great job. He has a video, an article where he talks about why black people should be libertarian. You should read it. It may help you to think about things differently. You should also look into other possible political alliances. But ultimately, for me, it's all about what I see as best for this country and my progeny. Right? Y'all can keep cooning for the Democrats all you want. Come in here calling me a coon while y'all stuck on a plantation with the Democrats, ideological slaves. Oh, right? I'm calling out Trump. Never voting Democrat again in my life because they've gone off. Right? I know Indian summer. That's what it's looking like. Two wings of the same bird. Right? And for a long time, that's exactly what. Yeah. Right? They in here calling me a coon while they licking the Democrat boot. Doing exactly what Margaret Sanger wanted. Offing their babies in mass. Over 30% of the 13% of the population, but over 30+% of the fetus deletions in the country. Margaret Sanger says she wants to exterminate. They're like, oh, yeah, we'll help you. Just give us a little paper us up with some Great Society programs. Then when the Great Society programs came, they're like, oh, we go, all right. Lyndon said he would have y'all voting Democrat for 200 years. We 60 years in. Keep it up. 90%. There it is right there. That's what he's doing. He got y'all wrapped around his fingers. But y'all coming here calling me a coon. Think outside of an ideological box besides the Democrat Party. For like 10 minutes. And we'll see. I've been reading and studying for years. Trying to understand politics and history. And how the Democrats have gotten the black community to be their ideological slaves. No other ethnicity votes one way like that. Over 90+%. Nobody. No other demographic. Slaves. They own you and they give you nothing. They give you nothing. Absolutely. You're like, wait a minute. Can we have a little bit of that DEI, boss? Well, no, that's for the white women. Can we have a little bit of that, what is that? Can them reparations? No. We'll paper up migrants, but y'all stay in your place.
You can't make this up.
That's it. Go ahead. Keep it up. That's up to y'all. Keep it up. Y'all can do it. Go ahead. Keep it up. I hope y'all have fun on the plantation, right?
We're gonna put y'all back in chains.
Cause y'all in chains. They talk about the Republicans gonna put them back in chains. Why would the Republicans need to put chains on people who are already enslaved? I don't understand that. Right? These people, 90+% vote Democrat. Who actually has you enslaved? It just doesn't make any sense. But if I call out, but I know what I'm doing. I know I'm doing a good thing, right? Because I'm getting the MAGA people mad at me because we won't leave the Trump thing alone. I get the black people mad at me because I voted for Trump. And it's like, oh, I'm making everybody mad. Hey, come on. There you go. That's right. Right, exactly. I do not rely on the government. I invest. I work 12 hours a day. I work from 8 in the morning to 8 at night. I'm making money off this podcast right now. I'm making money. While you all are sitting here listening to me and crashing out hard, calling me all kinds of names, cooning and this and that, calling me a coon and I'm actually making money. Investments are making money. When the stock market goes up, I'm just sitting there making money. I just want to. I just want some money. I just want some money, but I want to keep it. But yeah, it is what it is, right? Because look, I have a rundown from a bunch of other stuff, but I didn't want to. I just wanted to cover this. This is a short rundown today, right? Right? Yeah. Well, the cool thing is I've never seen Django, the movie. Don't care about that reference. You can keep that reference. I actually read. I don't just watch movies. So you'd have to make an actual reference that makes sense, right? You say I'm Steven from Django. Nobody care about y'all. Somebody. I don't watch stuff like that. So I read books. Like, do you not see what's behind me? I got books over there, books over here, books down here to pull up whenever. You're Steven from Django. I don't even know who that is. Oh goodness, I have a lot more stuff to do on the. But we're gonna save it for tomorrow because I think that stuff will keep. But I just wanted to talk about this today, right? Yeah, this today. Okay, that was my rundown. Y'all know my rundowns normally go way longer than that, and I never have a chance to put everything in it. But I'll put the rundown in this one, and we're about to head out for today because I got, other stuff. Right? Yeah. I've never been on any. I've only voted Republican twice in my entire life. So every other time it was third party. And if Trump keeps this mess up, if Trump keeps this mess up, guess what? I'll be back to voting third party. Brother Derek Franklin coming in with the hotness. All right, the super chat, $20 super chat, brother. Come on, are you serious? That's right. I'm gonna take my wife out somewhere nice and special. Right. KKK was formed by the Democrats, Jim Crow Democrats, but it's gonna be the Republicans.
They're gonna put you all back in chains.
Put us back in chains, brother Derek Franklin. We basically live in a place where our government thinks and treats us like children, but the children are actually fully functioning people who choose to use their brains and shout from the rooftops when the emperor has no clothes. Exactly. That's what we're doing. We're shouting it out. We're not going to stop. Why would we? So I don't know if I'm going to be able to get on later today, but I've got some more stuff in my rundown. I've got some other clips. Woo. Yeah. If we could get a viable third party, that's the problem. Because, man, that would be so amazing if we could get a viable third party. But it seems like the system is not set up for that, right? Just get that viable third party. Man. Anyway, all right. I'm going to leave y'all with that, but I'm going to try to come back. Well, I'll definitely be back tomorrow with some more content. And we'll see whatever happens with the release the Epstein files, the hashtag. We're going to talk about it, y'all. But thank you to everybody that tuned in. Until next time, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, support the channel. Until next time, be on the alert, stand firm in the faith, act like men, be strong. See y'all around. Bye.